Ladies and gentlemen, may I please ask to take your seats? Don't be afraid, come in the front, take a seat. We're about to start. Dear Prime Minister De Croo, dear Minister Van den Broeke, dear Secretary of State Thomas Dermine, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, a very warm welcome to the Belgium, the Health and Biotech Valley Today, Tomorrow event. We have a promising hour ahead of us where we will make the bridge between today and tomorrow. And I'm happy to be your host today, but I will also be your timekeeper to respect each and everyone's agenda. And after 2 years of hard work, the Belgian federal government, in collaboration with the biopharma and biotech sector, has the pleasure to share with you the progress of its strategy of reinforcing Belgium's position as a strong health and biotech valley. And before I give the floor to Prime Minister De Croo to share his future ambitions, let's have a look at a brand new campaign to introduce a new website, healthbiotechvalley.be, so please remember that, to promote our unique ecosystem nationally and internationally.
Welcome to the future of health and biotech, an incubator for new medicines, new therapies, and new applications. A step ahead of what's next. Welcome to a unique health and biotech ecosystem located at the very heart of Europe, connecting scientific, medical, and industrial excellence, pioneering research and development, state-of-the-art production and distribution, international corporations, global organizations, in addition to many of the world's most innovative SMEs, spin-offs, and startups, all working together in a seamless, connected ecosystem and sharing one single aim: a healthier world for today and tomorrow. Welcome to an innovation-friendly climate, actively supported by government, to offer the freedom and the funding to flourish. Welcome to a stimulating, cosmopolitan, and welcoming destination for scientists and students, a home to internationally renowned universities and talent training centers, a hub of world-class innovation, the heart of next-generation connected manufacturing and green production. Welcome to Belgium, Europe's Health and Biotech Valley. Discover Europe's Health and Biotech Valley at healthbiotechvalley.be.
Good morning, everyone, and what a pleasure to be here and to be in this kind of cafeteria-style setting. All of you will go to the counter to get your plates for breakfast at some point. Extremely happy to be here 2 years down the road. 2 years down the road, we started the process of what you just saw in the video. The goal to be the place in Europe for healthcare. Now, a goal without a plan is just a dream. And we wanted to go beyond just a goal, but really make it concrete on developing all the elements to have this. And really would like to thank everyone who worked over the past 2 years to make this happen. Of course, thank the KU Leuven for the hospitality. Thank the Boston Consulting Group for the collaboration, and they will explain you afterwards what we did well and what we could do better, to put it in a diplomatic way. Thank bio.be, pharma.be, and the HST group for all the input that has been given, and thank my colleagues. Thank Minister Van den Broeke for supporting this in many domains. Thank Thomas Dermine on the scientific side and the investment side. Thank Hajjal Habib, who's not here. She is in Australia promoting our country and on her way back. And thank Minister Van Petegem for keeping the fiscally attractive incentives. There's many reasons to be in Belgium, not only fiscal reasons, if I can summarize it that way. What we are doing here, to me, is a crucial one. in who we are as a country. Very often, when we present ourselves abroad, we say that we are the country of diamonds, frieten, and beer. And we are so much more than that. And of course, when I said it in Leuven, it's a bit sensitive because beer is really at the core here. But in essence, who are we? We are a country of innovation. We are a country of bringing the world together. We are a country of high value added. That is who we are. And to me, this road is really the symbol of that. Coming here, I called it Innovation Alley. There is IMEC, which is the #1 research center in the world in semiconductors. There is this place. There is so many research institutions that are here. And so when we go abroad, that's what I think we should say. That is who we are as a country. This is a place where innovators in the world come together. And the chocolates and the beers is for the reception, and that's a lot of fun. But that's not, to me, that's not the core of who we are. Now, coming back on what we started 2 years ago. And 2 years ago, we said we wanted to reinforce the position that we had as a pharma hub. Because, I mean, bluntly said, why is so much pharma innovation happening in Belgium? It's because we're good. And that's because we have incredible people that get great education here. It's because we attract very talented people here. And it's because the environment is a very conducive environment for international investments. Most of the healthcare innovation that is happening, it's not done by Belgian firms. Most of it is done by multinational firms who compare. And they look throughout the world and they try to find the best place to do innovation. And that is very remarkable for the position in which we are. But it also makes us a bit vulnerable, of course. The choice to invest in Belgium is not based on the fact that some of the players have Belgian roots. Some of them used to have Belgian roots, but that is already part of history. So that means that it pushes us to always stay ahead of the game. And with COVID, the world discovered what we have here. I mean, the world discovered the innovation that takes place here. The world discovered that we have the full ecosystem here. And I remember my European colleagues telling me, it's interesting what you have in Belgium, and then looking at how they could copy what we have. And we see that the whole healthcare atmosphere is becoming much more geopolitical than what it used to be. And so in the past, we were a pole of innovation because we're good. Today, being good is not enough. Today, you have to do a bit more than that, because often we see that our European colleagues see it also from a perspective of securing, for example, access to medicines and access to innovation. And that was really the direction we took in developing our new strategy to be able to stay ahead of the game. Now, there's 5 domains on which we decided to work, and I'll just try to highlight in a few what we have done. The first one was how can we improve our competitive position, which is still the core of what we had. One of the things that I've always heard in which we are unique is the accessibility of our academic institutions. And I think the KU Leuven is really an example of that, but not only KU Leuven. I mean, there are so many academic institutions which are very, very accessible for the industry. And really, there's not many places in the world that do it better than we do. So that we need to keep, and we need to continue improving the systems that we already have. What I think is that we need to explain it often a bit more. Any occasion that I have to be abroad, I try to organize an event. And very often when I check with our diplomats, there's interest in talking about healthcare. A month ago, there was a General Assembly of the United Nations in New York. Well, one of the breakfasts I did was on healthcare. And it's always interesting to tell what we have, but to listen on the way that they look at the opportunities that happen in the rest of the world, and how we can tap into it. The fiscal climate is an important one in that, and I have to say that and of course the global minimum tax is a good thing, and we're in favor of that. But a country as Belgium needs to keep some advantages. I mean, some countries have a big market. We don't exactly have a big market. We are a small market, and we're often a bit of a complicated market as well. So you need to keep some incentives to keep activities here. And the incentives that we have, for example, on the wage cost for researchers, remain a big, big advantage that we have. And I think that can we refine it? Can we make it more effective? Yes. But please, let's be careful. Stability in that is incredibly important. And it comes out of all of the studies, is that, yes, we are an expensive country, but in R&D, if you combine the value added of R&D work, you can even attract quite interesting production activities, which I think is important. I mean, we need to have jobs for everyone, not only for people who are extremely high on the scale of education. Which leads me to the topic of talent planning. And that is an important one. The analysis that has been done is that in the next 5 years, we will need 1,500 people in the industry. And that is a bit because of aging, because, of course, at some point people flow out, but also because we see a strong increase. Linking that to our academic institutions is a crucial one, but also to being open to the world. I mean, if people come here because they know they can do extremely interesting work and they also can have a good life, which is quite a unique combination we have here in Belgium, this is something we need to do in a more planned way. That was purely on attractiveness. Second topic is on data. And there, Minister van den Broeke really did groundbreaking work in the creation of the Health Data Authority. We are a country with a lot of data. And actually, it's a bit surprising here to be here. It looks a bit like COVID again, because, I mean, all of you, these are all the faces I remember from the COVID period. But one of the key things that helped us in this successful vaccination campaign was the access to data we have. And the access to data, which, especially on the side of the unique patient file, is a crucial one. But there is much more. But combining all that data in a safe way, and in a way that patients can trust it, is a gigantic potential that we have. And I think it is something where government needs to take the lead, because we need to guarantee that the access can be combined with the fact that it's done in a safe way. All of you know that we do a lot of medical trials in Belgium, and that's a position we want to keep. But of course, we see that today, next to medical trials, access to real-life data is a key thing. And that leads me to the third element I would like to discuss, is access to innovation. We are a country of innovation, which is great. It also means that our patients need to have access to innovation. From a healthcare perspective, and also there, a lot of work has been done with programs to have fast access to innovative medicine, the reform of the Commission for Reimbursement, and so on. It's important from a patient perspective, but it's also important from an industry perspective. If real-life data becomes important, if we want to keep the edge that we have, well, you need to make sure that your market also has access to it, because that is actually part of the industry work that needs to happen. And tremendous progress is being made in that domain, and we need to be on top of both. We need to be on top of it from the industry side. We also need to be on top of it from a patient side. So the approach that we have here in the healthcare sector, for me, is an example of how we can have an edge as a country. And to me, what we do in healthcare is an example of what we should do in other industries. We are in this together. And if we want to develop the full potential that we have, you should not leave it only to politicians. I mean, there's some things we can. There are some things in which we are not an expert, and there are some things in which we would love to be challenged by you, and we would love to work together with you. And I think the platform that we created here is an example of what we are capable of when we work together, with benefits to our patients. So I would like to to thank all of you for being a partner in this over the past 2 years. We will now get a bit of an analysis on where we stand, and it's always good to have a neutral evaluation on where we stand in our policy. But let's use this as an example. The potential that we have as a country is much more than what we get out of it today. It's always been my motivation. I mean, why did I take the step to go into politics? It's just because I see the potential, and because I think we can do much more, and we can realize much more than what we realize today. That potential, we're not going to realize it by complaining and by saying that nothing is possible. None of you in your organizations would lead an organization by saying that everything is bad. You realize something in an organization when you are, of course, you see the problems, but you also see the strengths that you have. And what we need to do is we need to tackle our weaknesses with the strengths we have. We need to do that. You need to do that in your organizations. We need to do that as a country as well. And I really would like to thank you for being an example on how, as a country, we go forward together. Thank you.